Hey guys, we are in the basement, and today guys, on this episode of John's Arcade, well guys, we're gonna do part number 2 of the Nutting and Associates computer spaceball repair fix kind of video series. Is that right, Warren?
That's right.
so yeah, Warren's gonna be in the garage with us today, and also Adam's gonna drop by later, right Adam? Later. Not now, Adam. You're not supposed to be here yet. So anyway, guys, yeah, we're gonna go to the garage. We're gonna work on the computer spaceball, and if we're lucky, by the end of this video, we'll be playing some computer spaceball. And also, before we start, I need to tell you guys, BroFest is happening. I got a message actually like today or something saying, John, you gotta say something about BroFest because people think it's not happening. Okay, it is happening. It's the first weekend in June. It's like June 2nd and 3rd. What is that? The Friday and Saturday?
I think so.
Go to arcadeevent.com. The website right now, as of this minute right here, is not current. It says Grinkfest right now. But go to arcadeevent.com. I'll have registration open this week, okay, for the Fun Spot Tournament, BroFest. Yeah, it's a classic arcade tournament. Clint from Arcade's coming up there. It's an official tournament. The scores are going to count. We're going to have prizes, raffles, all that stuff about BroFest is going to happen first weekend of June. Go to arcadeevent.com. All right, that's it. All right, guys, let's go to the garage. And Warren's out there already, and let's get to work on the Nutting and Associates computer space. All right, guys. All right, guys, we're back in the garage, and look, Warren is here. You guys might remember Warren when we did the computer space. You were awesome enough to come here with Adam. You guys, of course, are my team of engineers. Did you have fun when we did computer space? Because that was awesome, wasn't it?
That was great. I'd never worked on something that old.
Right.
It was a learning experience, and I was psyched we got it working.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And again, thank you for helping me do that, and thanks for coming today. Because I said to myself, man, we got to do this again. Because this is like the next game, right? It's like computer space, and then Pong, and then Nutting did computer spaceball. But we're having a big issue right now with the sync. And we're trying to figure out if it's a board issue, right? Or is it a game PCB, the logic board issue? Is it a logic board? I guess it is with TTL.
Yeah, it's TTL.
There's logic.
The L in TTL is logic.
That's true. Okay. So, and also I did a bit of research prior to this video. I talked to a bunch of people. I talked to Andy Welburn, you know him, Andy's Arcade,
yep.
And he told me to look at one of the caps that's on the video side. There's a 5 microfarad cap that the video goes through on the way out. It's like the last step, and we have the schematic up there. And I also talked to Ed Freeze, and he told me that all the boards he had with sync issues, all the issues he had with sync issues on these games, it was always the board and not the monitor. That was what he thought, that we should look at the board. But you also had your little composite TV thing, right? Your LCD that we can maybe test.
Right. When I saw your last video, it looked immediately to me like it was going to be filter caps in the TV.
Okay.
Just because that'll cause the ripple in the power supply causes sync issues and humming and stuff.
Okay.
But then it actually seems to be kind of related to what the game PCB is doing. Like if it would cut out and not show anything for a second. Yeah. The hum would get quieter, so that makes me think that it's not just power supply.
It's not just power supply.
So it could be either the logic board or the power supply for the logic board. The power that might have bad caps.
Okay, the power supply. And I have another one of those power. Look at what's going on there. It just changed.
Yeah, the video kind of went out, and the hum got quieter. Yeah.
And there it comes back. So what does that mean?
That probably means. It looks like it still had sync, so
okay.
I think that would be something with the board.
Okay.
And hopefully that means power supply has too much ripple and it's causing sync.
Okay. And we have another power. I have another one of those exact power supplies in the basement. Actually, I have 2 of them down there, and we can also put in a new switching power supply if we need to as well. And then I've been playing with the adjustments on the back, and by the way, I talked to the seller, and when I bought this. There was a photo of the picture perfectly synced, and I asked him, I said, well, it doesn't do that now. And he said that if you let the game warm up for 10 minutes or so, it would sync. Well, I let it warm up for like a half hour the other day, and it never got better, I could definitely, though, see, I let it warm up for like a half hour, and I was able to tell where the score was, and I was able to coin the game up, and I could see the score turning to 0.
Oh, okay,
up
good.
right here and here. Because I think when the game's in a track, it says 1 and 2. Like player 1, player 2. And then when you coin it up, those turn into the score. The score.
Okay.
And I saw that happen. Like right here, I think he's 1 and 2. 1 and then Roman numeral 2 or something here. You see that?
Or that could just be a bogus score that
Yeah.
comes up when you turn it
But
on.
watch when I coin up. You could see it change. Did you see?
It goes right to 0.
Yep. See, now it's 2 zeros. I don't know if you guys could see this. It's kind of bright out here. So, all right. So, what do you want to do first?
Well, it seemed like the easiest thing to do without tearing stuff apart is try a different monitor.
Okay.
I brought my little dead DVD player thing that works like a monitor.
Okay.
And why don't we plug that in and see if that syncs or not?
Okay. And this will accept the composite video signal we have here.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's got a composite in.
Yeah. And then also, one thing I found out, and I didn't know this because I was asking around for a schematic for this, and Andy told me to just use the Atari schematic because this is literally a 1-to-1 clone. And I'm like, what? so we're using the Atari Pong schematic, which I have up here on my laptop. And then also Andy did tell me to look at this cap right here. Like the video output is right here. And basically, if I can get up here, there's 3 resistors that are video sync and score that feed into this 5 microfarad cap that then go to pin 20 on the edge connector. And pin 20 is video. If we're to look at the the pinout, which is right here, and this is again all in the Atari schematic. So pin 20 is video, pin 19, 18, 7, and then pin 16 is sound. And so pin 20 is video, pin 16 is sound, and then Warren and I looked at the edge connector to figure out which colors are which that go to the little terminals on the back here. And let's kind of explain what's going on. So basically the video and the audio comes from the edge connector to these terminals right here. And originally when this TV was made, this was for the antenna. And they basically used these to bypass the tuner and use these to make the connections now, right?
Right.
And so according to the edge connector, this is video right here. This pink wire, and then this green one was audio, right? Mm-hmm. And then this we can assume is ground.
Right.
And does the audio and the video both share the same ground? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, it should.
Okay. And so what you're going to do is hook up your little composite LCD display, right?
Right.
To the video and the ground.
Let's give that a try.
And then if we look up here, he's got this little display. Let me look at the TV, see what's going on up here. Okay, there's really, oh no, there's a, wow, the picture's getting better up here. Did you just do something?
Yeah, I just reversed the 2 leads.
Oh, you did?
And I saw the video for a second.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I don't know if
Oh, there it is.
that's right or not.
There it is, I saw it.
But at any rate, it's definitely not.
It's rolling though, it's the same symptom.
Yeah, it seems to be.
There it is, there it is.
Yeah, okay.
Look at that.
So
If you guys can see that.
I don't know why I have to have these reversed, but it seems to work. So.
Oh, you have the ground and the signal reversed?
Yeah.
There you go. There it is. There.
Okay.
So that's exactly what it's doing up front.
Yep. I'm also noticing that the game never finishes. It's just stuck on 0.
Oh, really?
And I can't tell if the ball, it kind of looks like the ball is just stuck.
I wonder if we mess with the vertical hold right now, if we can change that. Oh no, we wouldn't be able to, because that that vertical hold is
not gonna change this. Right.
Right. So what we're seeing is straight out of the PCB.
Yeah, it's doing basically the same thing as the TV did. So.
Okay. So we definitely have a board issue.
So we could try the TV with another source just to make sure the TV's okay.
Okay. And I have an NES here. Should we do that?
Yeah. Why don't we do that?
Okay. So
we might get lucky and just rule out the TV altogether.
Yeah. But the hum could be TV related or power related, maybe.
Yeah, it could be caps on the TV, or it could be the actual sound coming from the game board.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of making me think it's ripple in the power supply for the main for the logic board.
Oh, for the sync?
Since you've got both, you've got like a humming or buzzing in the sound.
Right.
The video's not syncing.
I see. It could be a power supply issue.
Yeah, but let's finish up with the TV first.
Okay.
See how that does.
All right, so let me get the NES hooked up here, and we'll hook it up to the TV. All right, Warren, we got the NES out. I said before maybe we can get my 2600, and you said no, because that's not composite video, that's RF.
Right, that's RF. That would work if the TV wasn't modified, but this has composite in, and the 2600's RF. So
the 2600's RF. So the 2600 was made to go into the antenna of a TV, right?
Right.
And take advantage of that whole input.
Right, because that's all there was on TVs back then.
Right. So we're going to use the RCA out on this side, this video, which is essentially a composite video out. And if you look back here on the TV, I actually used the computer space manual to figure out which was which too. Because in computer space, this is an original computer space manual. It says this screw terminal here is video input, violet and black, and then the audio sound input is just blue. Signal ground is plain old violet, and then this screw is not used. And it looks like they used the same exact scheme on this. And you said we need to remove these, right?
Yeah, because
we'll have two signals.
The logic board will interfere with it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and remove, and we know the pin out. So let's get the violet black off, and then the ground right here.
Yep. Might as well do them all. We can check the audio at the same time.
Okay, right, because this will tell us if the hum goes away, then we know it's down below.
Right.
And if the hum stays, then we know it's the TV. Lots of deduction going on here, Warren.
These are big enough. Okay.
Oh, you got the audio too?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we'll check.
So we'll get all the audio as well. We should.
Hopefully.
In theory. All right, so we got to plug it in.
Yeah.
Here. What?
You got NES music.
Oh, really? And no hum.
And no hum.
So I have Ninja Gaiden in here right now. So the TV might be perfect.
I don't know. I don't see anything yet.
There it is. Tecmo. TV's great. See it?
Yeah. I don't know why it's so dim, but...
Well, it's really sunny out here. Can you guys hear it? I mean, I totally see the video.
Looks like we might have to adjust it. Let me just try this.
All the adjustments. Okay, it just went wacky.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
I was just reversing the video and the ground.
Oh, no, we totally had video. I saw the words Tecmo and all that.
Yeah, it was doing some weird things with the little monitor, the little portable things.
Oh, okay.
Just wanted to try it, see what happened.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely a picture here.
Yeah, it might just need the brightness cranked up. Well, at any rate, there's no hum at all.
There's no hum, and we have a stable picture that I can see is there. Look at it. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It's great. Ninja Gaiden.
I'm guessing that the original logic board is putting out more voltage than you normally get on a composite signal.
Okay.
So it's just
it's stronger.
Yeah. So when you put a proper signal on it, it just comes up dim.
Right. Okay.
So.
All right. So what should we do now? We should check the power supply, right?
Yes, we should check the
voltage. I never checked the voltages on it.
Yeah, let's check the voltage and try to check the ripple.
Okay.
But
check the AC ripple.
Yeah.
And we could do that with the multimeter by just reading AC voltage?
I've got a scope, but using the meter is probably good enough.
It is. Okay, so why don't we get set up for that? All All right, so Warren pulled the board up a little bit, and we're gonna basically attempt to test the voltages right here. So this is ground. Where's the 5 volts, Warren? 8 and 9. So, all right, so we just plug it in and do it?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna put my meter on DC volts.
I'm gonna hold this just so it doesn't go flying.
Wait, it's plugged in.
Oh, okay. That's right. We didn't turn it off, so this should still have power.
Okay. All right, so here we go. So I'm gonna grab ground over here.
It can't be 0.
3. .9. So our voltage is low.
Okay, well that would certainly cause weirdness.
So we're getting 3.9 volts on the 5 volts. Now, I believe there's an adjustment pot on that power supply. We could turn up the voltage.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that or no? What are you worried about?
Just that if it's not going to suddenly be that low, most likely. So I'm thinking something's probably
You think the power supply is
wrong
just
with
bad?
it, but we can try it. I don't think it's going to hurt anything.
We could try turning it up. It's going to be a little tricky to get to it. All right, let me go in there and see what we need to do, and we'll come back. Okay, so actually I just peeked in there, and the power supply adjustment's right on the top. If you guys could see, it's like there's a little pot right there. So we have alligator clips on the meter. So we're gonna go ahead and just power it on again, and then I'm gonna adjust the voltage using my TV adjustment tool. Because it's a little slotted pot. You ready, Warren?
Yep.
All right, we're on. So what's our voltage right now? Yeah,
that can't be.
No, I don't think we're on.
It's on AC. But
Oh.
I mean, you've got almost a volt of ripple, so that's basically bad.
Okay.
And it's running about 4 volts.
All right, so right now, if we look at the meter,
Yeah, with that much ripple, I don't think adjusting it's going to help.
is that right?
But we'll give it a try.
Okay. Let me get a flashlight here. All right, Warren, I'm going in. This is really annoying. I can't see the meter, but actually, now I can. What was that?
That was the coin counter, which it did a couple times before. I think it's just ripple is causing it to be flaky and unreliable. 7, ooh, not good.
I didn't even move it.
Huh.
Why is it? It's like, whoa. Why is it jumping up to 7?
Not good.
I mean, I'm barely moving that pot. Like micro.
Okay.
And now it's at 3.
Yeah, there's no way that pot should be that touchy.
I just moved it. Oh, 5.1.
5. Huh. Okay. Oh.
But I'm going I'm turning it down, and it starts going down, then it goes up as I'm going down.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
Could be the pot is flaky and the wiper just doesn't make contact.
Right.
You get some crazy setting. Probably, maybe what we should do is turn it off and then just move it back and forth
Okay.
to try to clean it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Should we put some deoxit on
Yeah,
it?
put some deoxit on it.
All right, it's unplugged. So I'm gonna grab some deoxit here, and we'll spray it on that pot and just kind of work it. All right, so I'm gonna take some deoxit and spray it on the pot and just kind of work it back and forth. All right, and then we'll just kind of let that just dry for a minute or so and we'll come back. Okay, we're back. So we cleaned the pot warren.
Yep.
And then we were testing it, and you know, we cleaned it and moved it all around and tried to break up whatever was on there causing the problem. And so we got it plugged back in. We're measuring the voltage. It's pretty much around 3 volts all the time. And if I try to adjust the pot at all, it jumps up to 7 volts, like instantly, and then the coin counter starts going crazy and stuff. So we got to get rid of this power supply, basically. So I don't know how we're going to do it easily. Do we leave the old one in there with the transformer because the TV's tapped into it? Because that's the big problem. The way it's on Computer Space, we left the old one in there, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And I mean, it's probably fixable. There's not that much to a linear power supply.
Well, I have another one downstairs. Maybe I should go get it. I have another original power supply, and maybe we just swap it out with that one.
Do we have to solder stuff for that?
We do, yeah.
But, all right. Why don't we do that?
Okay, so because this power supply is just not playing nice. I mean, we could rebuild it with the cap. I don't think I have the kit, the caps though. So, all right, let me go get the other one. We'll come back. All right, Warren. I went downstairs and got the power supplies, and this is the power supply they use, the OLV 15. And apparently, I bought a couple of them when we were doing Computer Space. I think this is the one that was in Computer Space that was rebuilt. I rebuilt this, but Computer Space, there was something wrong with it. It kept shutting these down. There's something on the board that was putting an extra load somewhere, where the modern switching power supply didn't mind it, but these things did. So for whatever reason, we got 2 of them right now we could play with. This one was rebuilt. I believe this was in Computer Space. And then this one right here is the same model. It's just like a newer revision of it. So this is probably 10 years newer or something. When you think?
Yeah, didn't it have a chip on it somewhere?
Yeah, it's got a little IC right here. But they're essentially the same design. They just upgraded the parts to more modern parts. And the 5-volt pot is really tiny. But why don't we try using this one first? And because this one's for Computer Space, we want this to go as part of it.
Ideally, that'll go back in Computer Space someday.
Yeah, exactly. But it's the Alexon, Irvine, California, OLV 15-5. So you can see that these games have a lot of similarities, you know, Computer Space Ball as far as parts. And then what they did, though, which is going to make our install a little bit more involved, is they soldered the AC in that comes from the wall to here, and then they tapped in the AC for the TV at the same point, right? They're not using this as an isolation transformer for the TV.
No, it's just
the in together. Yeah, the in and the
just a point to solder to.
Yeah, so we have to get it out of there. So I guess I'll just go in there. It's got to be screwed to the wall, right? On the inside?
Yeah, it has to be. There's a couple of.
Let's take a look here.
I don't know if those are right.
Okay, yeah, there's a piece of wood in here, and it's bolted to that. It is unplugged. Yep. Okay, good. So we're gonna have to undo these. Oh God, these are in a tough spot. This is gonna be a pain in the butt, Warren. I wonder if we could take this whole board off. I think we can.
Yeah, I think that's probably the idea.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna remove this entire board. I see. And then if we get this board out, then we can just pull that out and work on that. That'll be a lot easier. All right, so I'm gonna get a little ratchet set, guys. This is tough to film, so I'm gonna do it off camera. But basically, I'm gonna take a ratchet and just remove that entire piece of plywood, which is gonna bring everything with it and out. So, okay, I'll be right back. All right, we got the power supply out. So you can see it's basically a version of this. This is the newer version. And this is the one that was in Computer Space, I believe. So it's identical. This one just has newer caps, so they're smaller. It's pretty much the same, right? These markings are a little different. Right here.
Yeah, I mean, these are on the board instead of on the
on the plate.
But
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, all we need is 5 volts here.
Right, they're 5 volt, 3 amps.
Yeah.
Should be okay.
So we're gonna use this one. So basically, we have to desolder. So here's where the TV gets its power in the middle. So this is the AC in right there, right?
Yeah, wait a minute. There's extra wires here. What does this go to? Okay, that's the
5 volts.
5 volts in the ground.
And then this right here.
What does that go to?
It says line.
Just got too many wires.
This goes to the fuse. But look here on the outside, it says line.
Yeah, and these are tied together.
Oh, that's right.
There's bridges on it. So.
I remember now, Warren. These and these are the same. These two and these two, right?
So, just not sure what else this AC is going to.
Well, one of this is going through the fuse.
Right, that's the input from the fuse. That's the input from the cord.
Right.
Ground just goes to the frame.
You don't think the coin counter is using the AC, is it?
Probably not. But maybe. Something on the harness is getting the 120 volt line. There's only one wire. What is up with that? Alright, I'm gonna have to figure out where that goes. Because that's a little bit weird if there's, live 120 volt coming off of that, just like going somewhere.
I bet you it's going to that coin counter. Don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know what else it would be for, unless there's a light somewhere, but they'd probably just be the little DC bulbs if it had a light.
There is no light though. I wish there was. Because look at the coin counter right here. It's getting voltage right here.
Okay. Well, we can check that, but we just need to make sure we hook this up.
I mean, I'm assuming that this is all 100% original, that this has not been touched at all, this game.
It doesn't look like it. This fuse looks pretty tired.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think this has seen a lot of
I don't think this hasn't seen daylight since it was put in 45 years ago. But if we were to come here, am I getting continuity? Yeah, that's going to the coin counter.
Okay.
That's what it is.
That's a little bit disconcerting that they're running AC right along with the
5 volts.
5 volt, the low voltage.
But it doesn't actually go to the harness. It's just bundled in here with it. It doesn't go to the harness.
Wait a minute. Does it?
Well, these are the grounds right here. 5 volts is right here, the red. The AC is not getting to this edge connector. Is that what you're thinking it is?
That's my concern. I mean, if that's the way they designed it, that's the way they designed it. But it does look like this is the this yeah, must be, and that goes to. Why don't we beep test it? Yeah. Wow. They must have a like an SCR or something on the board that fires the coin counter, but
interesting.
That's really.
So they are sending AC right to the board.
Yeah, right on the edge connector.
1, 2, 3, 4. Is that pin 5? Let me look at the Atari pinout. Pin 5. It says transformer.
Wow.
Pin 1, 4, and 6 on the Atari schematic all are tied to the transformer.
Huh.
Look at this.
Wow.
So here's the schematic, guys. So 1, 4, and 6 are all from the transformer. And again, we're using the Atari schematic. This is literally a 1-to-1 copy of the game. And Warren and I were talking about this before. It just seems so weird that Nolan and Atari was not involved in this game. You know, it's too quick, too close, too exact.
Yeah, it had to. If you were going to clone it, you wouldn't make it exactly the same. I mean, you wouldn't source the same power supply, or something would be different about it.
Right.
So,
and especially the guy that worked here a few months ago, they're going to just copy his work.
Yeah.
Unless they were really mad at him.
It had to be some kind of licensing deal.
And I was thinking a lot about that all in color for a quarter blog thing that I read in the last video, and how this game, they had evidence that this was shown at the UK show in late '72, right? The UK show. I think the best theory I have, and again, it's just a theory, is that Nolan licensed it to Nutting and said, you guys go do Europe. Take this idea, put it in your own cabinet, market it yourself, give me a cut of it, but you have Europe for the first year or whatever it is. And then maybe they brought it to the US after a year. I don't know. Okay, anyway, let's get to work here. We're going to copy what they did, but you don't know why they're sending AC to the transformer, I mean the AC to the board, but they were.
I guess the coin counter the coil in it must run off of 120 volt.
Okay.
And they're switching it on the PCB somewhere, which is very unusual and not terribly safe.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, we were just poking around in there, not even realizing it.
Yeah.
So kids, when you're playing with this old PCB, just know there's AC voltage floating around. All right, so we're gonna get set up here. I guess we'll just get my soldering iron and just start transferring wire to wire, and then we'll bolt it back on. This ground thing here is soldered.
That's the terminal, I think.
Okay. It's not actually soldered to the metal, right?
Right.
Okay.
There's a lug.
All right, so let me heat up my power supply, my soldering iron. So before we get too far here, we're gonna actually make sure this power supply works. So we're gonna grab the AC from this one and send it over to this one, and then I'm gonna test the 5 volts right here, which should be one of those 2 lugs. You ready?
Fire it up.
Do you feel safe? The cord's is underneath you.
Oh, okay.
All right, so here we go. All right, so let's test the voltage at the supply. DC volts, so it should be right here. So 4.5. Should we adjust the pot?
Yeah, why not? Make sure it adjusts correctly.
See if that'll work. Will that turn it?
Yeah.
4.5, 4.3,
Probably.
6, 7. Yeah, this thing totally works. 8, 9. All right. So you're at 5 volts, 5.1. So this supply is good.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to use that supply. So let's heat up the soldering iron and we'll swap them out. All right, so Warren's swapping the wires over. And I was inside actually, and I came out here and you told me that you started desoldering with the...
Yeah, the game doesn't make any noise, so I keep forgetting it's on.
It was plugged in?
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, I missed that.
As soon as I touched the soldering iron, I got a nice big spark because this is grounded, and that must be the
I see.
the live. So.
Oh man, so you're just yanking the wires off. Do you know where they go?
Yeah, I'm gonna do them
one by one,
a bit at a time.
Okay, so that's the right. Okay, yeah, like so. All right, Warren, how's it going?
Slowly.
Is it?
I don't know if it's.
Is there something I could do?
I don't know if it's the small tip on the soldering iron or what, but I'm just having trouble heating these up enough to pull them off.
Oh, really? So I usually use like the side of it. I've just kind of conditioned myself to use that tip. I have a bigger tip somewhere we can throw in there, but...
Nah, we'll get there.
So there's a cap that was across some of the terminals. So we have to recreate that?
Yeah, we'll move it over. I don't think it's critical.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
All right, so we're going to keep going here and just transfer these wires over.
Wow.
But basically, we're just desoldering from one and moving to the other and just replicating what was there. All right, so far we basically removed half of the AC wires one side, and then the 5 volts, positive and negative, which are just hanging out here. So here's the new power supply, so I'm going to go ahead and just bolt this in, and then we're just ready to transfer over these remaining wires from the old one. It is pretty nice having the right power supply on hand.
Yeah.
Not the kind of power supply most people would usually have on hand. It must have been a popular model or something, because these are all over eBay.
Yeah.
They must have used them for industrial...
some kind of industrial machinery must have used it.
Right. Because it definitely wasn't hard to find this power supply.
Which is pretty amazing. It looks like it has a date code of 1991.
Oh, this one does? So they've been making this thing forever. Holy cow. So this one's considerably newer. but the same like form factor, you know,
Yeah.
the same footprint, same bolt hole, everything.
Yeah, there must be some machine, long-lasting machine.
Right, like it's probably like some ice cream machine or something, like something, a cotton candy machine or something crazy. All right, so I'm gonna bolt this down and we're gonna start soldering the wires. But basically, we're just gonna solder the wires where they were, and that's it. All right, we're done. So we moved all the wires to the new one. It's all bolted down. I think it looks really good. We put this capacitor back on here that goes across these lugs on the AC side. What do you think that does? Do you know? Do you know the technical reason that's there?
Some just sort of noise filter.
Is that what it is?
On the AC line.
Okay. So if that cap's bad, which it probably is, right?
Nah.
Maybe.
That type of cap doesn't usually go bad.
Is that a Mylar or what is that? What kind of capacitor is that?
I'm not actually sure. It's like polyester or
okay.
I don't know. It's one of the. I honestly don't know. I don't remember.
All right, so let's leave this out right now before we bolt it in. Do you agree?
Yeah. Let's see if we can move it close enough to get the board
plugged in. Right, because we have the edge connector unplugged right now. And we unplugged the edge connector so we could easily work on the power supply because it gave us a little more slack. This chair is probably older than this game. People always comment about this chair, Warren. It looks like a haunted chair or something.
Yeah, it's got a feeling about it. I have to agree. Yeah, this isn't going to reach. So
it's not? Okay, yeah. Well, can we like just kind of teeter it over here?
Yeah. There we go.
Let me grab my flashlight. I can't really see what I'm doing. So what are the odds that this is going to fix it completely?
68%.
You think so? You think it's that high?
Yeah.
I mean, I fix so many of my games. You know, I buy them on Craigslist, whatever. The power supply is usually the problem, right? Mm-hmm. So it makes complete sense here. So we have to hook up our video again.
Yeah, when we get that hooked up, and then we'll fire it up.
So we're going to use our little cheat sheet here. So violet black is video input. That goes here.
The top left.
You know, that's an original manual I got on eBay.
Yeah, this is
that's
nice.
Not a reproduction. What I like about this too, and this doesn't apply to our television because this is an SF chassis and the computer space had an SE chassis. But anyway, this is the symptoms for the SE that Atari wrote out, or Nutting did. You know, no video picture or poor contrast, look at V4. So I like that. You know, it gives you a little bit of guidance.
Tells you which tube to
right.
Try replacing.
Audio sound input is blue. And then signal ground is just regular old violet. All right, Warren.
All right.
Are we ready to try this?
Yes, we are. You want to do the honors?
Yep. All right, guys. All right, here we go. Plugging it in. The TV come on?
Not yet.
It's not, I didn't hear it make any noise. It's silent.
Well, let's just give it a minute. Let's see.
I can't tell if the tubes are glowing. Yeah, the tubes are glowing.
Here we go. Take a look at this.
All right. Here we go. Oh my God. It's Pong. Oh my God. Can you guys see that? God, the glare's so bad. Picture is stable. The ball is moving around.
There's a little bit of a wave.
Oh yeah, I see the wave.
but maybe we can try tweaking it a little.
Yeah, let's see what happens if we coin up. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
And it's silent.
Yeah, no humming at all.
It's absolutely silent. I'm going to coin it up. Ready? What happened?
It's just completely blanked out.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why did it do that? Something with that AC?
Don't know. TV's still on.
The power supply just go out? Let me check the voltages on the power supply.
Remember, there's live AC on that.
Yeah, I know. The power supply is at 4.9. 4.974.
Oh, that's perfect.
That's at the power supply. So why do you think the game just shut off?
Don't know. Why don't you
Power
and try it again?
All right, so let's power cycle it. It's off, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Back.
It's back. All right, coin it up.
Yeah. Yeah, died again.
It died? Do you think it's something with that AC voltage? Because it's tripping the meter, right?
Yeah, it's toggling the meter, and then it just
kills the game.
dies.
It wasn't doing that before.
No, it was going to zero.
Right.
Before. Yeah.
Maybe we need to double check our work? No, we did it right.
Let me look at the schematic for a minute.
Okay. All right, so we're going to look at the schematic and we'll come back. So we did discover one thing in the schematics I want to point out. So this setup is not exact to Atari's at all. It's a little bit different with as far as how they handle power. And the reason that the transformer wires on the Atari schematic are going to the Pong board is because the Pong board has kind of a power supply on it, right? A step down.
Right.
So it has like these low AC voltages coming in, and then the board is converting them to 5 volts DC, right?
So like half of the power supply is on the PCB.
Okay, right.
Essentially.
Right. So whereas on this game, it's all being handled by an external power supply, which is really the better setup, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the kind of normal way to do it.
Right.
Pac-Man.
Right.
Kind of
the Midway stuff and Galaga and all that, right, has the power supply built into the board too. But anyway, the coin counter is actually not being handled at all by the PCB, we found out by looking at the schematic, right?
Well, that's true for Pong. I'm not sure yet
Oh, okay.
what's happening on this one.
That's right. It's true for Pong. Because we noticed before when we were turning the voltages up and it jumped to 7 volts, it was firing the coin counter. So there's something going on with that coin counter, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Should we just remove that from the equation? Can we? If we were to disconnect this one wire right here, would that just remove the coin counter?
Should.
Because this wire right here, it's not plugged in right.
No.
This wire right here goes to the coin counter, we believe, right? Because I had continuity before.
Yeah, you tested it, so.
I wonder if we should disconnect this. Do you think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I do.
Just to kind of figure something out here. All right, so we're going to desolder that wire and then see if we get different results when we coin it up. All right, so we removed the wire for the coin counter, we think, right?
Yeah, we did a continuity check on it before, and it looked like it's going to the coin counter. So.
Yep. All right, so why don't we plug it in and see if we get any different results here. This game is silent.
Yeah.
Like the TV doesn't even make any noise when it turns on. It's more of a warm-up. Mm-hmm. All right, so the game's plugged in. We're just waiting for it to show up on the screen. I'm sorry for the glare today, guys. It's really sunny. Okay, it's there. So I'm going to go ahead and coin it up. Ready?
Yep, now it's gone to 0, 0.
It's working?
And we got a ball.
Oh, nice.
This pot looks like it's...
Yeah, both pots we got to clean. There's no sound. The scoring's all weird, or is it? No,
I think you're just kicking my ass. Because I can't move my paddle.
Wait, we don't get any sound until it hits the paddle, though, right?
No, it at least makes a sound when
a serving sound
when you score.
So we're gonna have to clean these pots. Is that what that hole is here for?
That's a good question. Oh, no, that's probably just there's probably a little tab on the pot.
Oh, okay.
That keeps it from spinning.
Well, it kind of works.
Yeah, it's definitely progress. So I guess we can clean the pots, and try to figure out what's up with the sound.
Okay. All right, let me grab my deoxit. So we know the coin counter was probably causing some kind of weird short or something.
Yeah, I gotta just look at the harness and try to figure out why it's wired that way.
Right.
Because there's something really weird about it.
At the end of the day, I don't need a coin counter, right?
No, but it'd be nice to nice to solve the mystery.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let me get the deoxit. We'll clean the pots. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to just kind of unscrew this from the top here, and then we're gonna drop the pots out from the bottom, and then there's a little quick disconnect. If you noticed that.
Yeah.
So we should be able to completely remove that harness out. We just got to keep track of which one is left and which one is right. Okay, they're free now. So Warren, do you see that little quick disconnect thing?
Yeah. I'm just looking at it to see if it plugs in backwards. No, it doesn't plug in backwards. So, yeah.
It's an interesting little plug.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before. Okay, yeah, it's disconnected. So
okay, the pots are unscrewed. You should be able to just pull it right out.
Okay, and player 2 is the one closer to the
okay.
connector.
All right, so these are Type J 5K ohm variable resistors. So where can we spray in here?
Should be...
Here, hold that for a second. I'm going to put it on the tripod.
Oh, that is kind of sealed up.
Isn't it?
They're good pots. They're Allen Bradley. But, yeah, you might actually have to...
Pop it open?
Pop it open. Because usually there's like a little gap right around the terminals that you can spray into, but it does not seem to have that.
And this is just like crimped and glued? Is there like a epoxy on here or something?
Yeah, probably just grab it with a screwdriver or something. Yeah, you just got to bend those little terminals.
Okay, let me get a screwdriver and we'll see if we can get inside there. All right, let's see. So we got to break the... There's something on it. Ow! This is going to be tough to open. So we need to break these 4, right?
Yeah.
And then this little lid should come off. I think I'm going to stab my hand. It's coming now. All right. just doesn't want to come off. Oh, there we go. Ta-da!
Perfect.
Nice. Okay. So that wasn't too bad, actually. I mean, there's nothing to this thing, right? It's just...
No, it's a track of carbon and a little wiper that sits down on it. Does that go all the way around when you don't have the cover on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Is it supposed to?
I don't think so.
Does this one go all around? No, it doesn't. Well, that's interesting. How does the cover stop it from going around? And it hits this.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
right?
this little tab hits it. All right.
So I think that's good enough.
Yep.
So put it back together. Just like so. Yeah, now it doesn't go around. I don't think I'm quite centered here. All right, I'm just taking my channel locks and this is working. There we go. I think that's good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing to the other one. Not hard, just a little awkward. And it's crazy smooth now.
Oh, yeah, because they were pretty stiff before.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing to the other one. Be back. All right, Warren, these are all clean now. So we could try this out. So do you want to feed those through the hole, and or I can feed them through and.
All right, so close it.
So we gotta just get it in this little hole here. Is it there? Is that it? Is it not sitting flush?
Hold on.
You gotta get that tab in the hole, right?
Yeah, I had it. Well, you know, I gotta bend it just a little.
Almost. So there's a little lock ring and then this nut. Okay. Okay, I could see that's in. This side was missing the ring. The spinner knobs are pretty much identical to Tempest. I'm missing one of them. Okay, we're in. We all plugged in?
Yep.
All right, should we give it a whirl?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can play. All right, we got the garage door shut and the game's on. So I'm gonna credit it up. Let's see if the game actually plays now. This is a hard game. The paddles are tiny. Oh my God. I can't do it. There. Oh, it works. Now there's pots on the board. It might be to adjust the paddle size. I'm not positive. Well, the game plays.
Yeah.
The TV's just a little warped. There's no sound.
It's much less exciting without the sound.
Well, everything works, right? It's keeping score. We need to adjust the picture a little bit.
Yeah. But that wave in the picture might be due to caps.
Yeah. Now on the, I did play a lot with those adjustments on the monitor, on the TV before, so they could be really out of whack. Because we have vertical, whole, and vertical size. Let me see if we can play with that a little bit.
Looks like vertical linearity. Quite a bit off.
Is that good or bad? I can't really see.
Yeah, okay, turn that one up.
And then turn the other one down.
The other one down. Let's see what that does.
Is that better?
I think that's better.
Yeah, I think it is too. Let's coin up again. So look at, if I go too far down, it comes out the top.
Yeah, this one's doing that too.
So we're not adjusted correctly. This would be a fun game to play for $1. So I think our vertical size is too big, right? Why does it come out the top? Is that with the linearity one? Now is it coming from the top? Do you think that's a TV thing or is that a game thing?
I think it's a game thing.
Really?
I think the waviness is the TV, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. It's not bad. I think if I spent some time adjusting everything, we can get it looking even better. All right, so what should we do now?
Well, we could try to figure out the coin counter mystery or try to take a look at the sound. Why don't we pull the board out and look at the schematic and
Okay.
see what we can do about sound.
Okay. And we don't need to look at the TV pod or anything because we had sound with the NES, right? So
yeah,
we know now the sound of the NES was very, very low though. Should we try turning the volume up?
No, you'd hear it at least a little bit.
You think so?
Yeah.
We barely heard the NES though, like barely. When you think the NES audio would be a little hotter? No?
Don't know.
I wonder if there's any merit of pulling the TV out, and we need to do that anyway. What are your thoughts?
I am not sure. I'm more of a logic board person.
Right.
But
I just want to rule that we know the TV makes sound because the NES was making sound. But I'm just curious if the volume is too low right now. Mm-hmm. And we just can't hear it.
Yeah, seems unlikely, but
could we hook this up to your little device and get sound? Your TV?
Oh,
does it have a speaker in it?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right, Warren. So we just put the power supply back in its hole, by the way, so it's mounted back properly. So you've got Pong on top of your little TV, like perfectly up there, by the way. So is the sound hooked up right now too?
Yeah, I plugged the sound in, so if the board's making sound, we should
hear it.
Hear it.
All right, so I'm gonna coin up. Uh-oh, what happened? Everything went dead.
Went dead? What?
That's the problem we had before. What's different here is the power supply was moved.
craps right out. What's up with that? All right, let's try it.
Hang on, let's unplug it. Let's make sure that the wire didn't somehow, the wire for the...
Yeah, we don't hear the coin clicking, counter clicking.
But where did that wire go? Because it was just hanging out. Yeah, it's not touching anything. It's just there. Do you think we're getting some kind of a weird voltage drop?
I don't know why starting a game would do that. But
Really?
let's try it again without this connected. No reason that should matter, but let's try it anyway.
All right. I love how perfectly it draws on your screen, by the way. All right, so basically we just pulled the board out. And we're going to probe it. Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah, hopefully it matches the Atari schematics enough.
Yeah, it should. I mean that's what I've been told by people who are a lot smarter than me.
Because it looks like this is where the power supply transistor goes on the Atari Pong board. I actually have one, but I couldn't find it this morning.
You had a Pong board, you mean?
Yeah, but I couldn't find it this morning. I guess it wouldn't have worked anyway. So
right.
It wouldn't have helped.
So what do we do? Do we figure out like where the sound's supposed to come out and just work our way back?
Yeah, there's. It looks like there's a bunch of signals that trigger different sounds, and then there's just a couple of like logic gates that have different clock signals going into them, and it just picks the right one.
Okay.
So I didn't see anything past that for
sound.
What am I trying to say?
For creating sounds?
Yeah, there was nothing further down like audio amps or anything that I could see. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull out the logic probe and see if some of those lines are toggling when it's supposed to make sounds.
Okay.
Although I don't know if we can do that because if it blanks out when we try to start a game.
Oh God.
That's not gonna work.
That's true. We can't even get the game to start.
Yeah.
Or
I guess we got to look at that first.
Let's think about this. If the sound circuit's bad, right? The sound circuit gets engaged when the game starts. Could that be what's taking the game down?
It's possible.
That there's a chip that's bad in that circuit, and as soon as it engages that, right, it shuts it down. Does that make any sense? They could be connected.
Things have happened, so that's definitely possible.
Okay. Well, why don't we set up with the probe and stuff, and then we'll get the schematics going. All right. Hey, guys. We just coined it up, and the sound's working now. What is going on? It's totally working now.
Yeah, maybe there's just something loose on the harness. Because we didn't...
All we did was move the harness around.
These paddles are tiny.
Hey, I'm gonna adjust those pots. Tell me what happens. Do those paddles get bigger? What's that doing?
It's wobbling around a little bit, and I think it's adjusting.
Oh, the travel.
Yeah.
So when it was leaving the screen, that's probably how we fixed that, right?
Yeah.
Let me coin up again. So maybe we just had something with the edge connector that was flaky. Is it working?
Yeah.
We're done. All we need to do is clean it up. Do you think we should reflow the solder on the edge connector?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, then why is it working now?
Should we throw some deoxit on it for good measure on the edge connector?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think we got to tweak those calibration pots a little bit. Just like...
Okay, see if that will get rid of that. What's that doing?
Yeah, it stopped. Oh, wait, the game just ended.
Okay. What's that doing?
Oh, it's moving the other one. Okay. Try the other pot. Yeah, now it's moving it the wrong way.
Wrong way?
Yeah. Stop.
Okay. So it's limiting the travel?
Yeah, I don't know why it's bouncing around so much.
Maybe we need to clean it. How's that? Is that
better?
Is it?
Yeah, and the travel is right now.
Oh, good. How about this one? This one's good too. This one needs...
I don't think that one goes down all the way.
No, it doesn't. So which pot was that one? Was it this one here?
Nope.
No? Is that it?
Go the other way.
Other way?
That's good.
They both have equal travel?
Yeah, they're both down all the way.
Perfect. Okay, so Warren, we got to figure out why this all started working again.
Yeah. So I don't know if the coin counter had anything to do with it.
Right.
I'm suspecting it might not have at this point.
I mean, is it even worth the effort of putting the coin counter back on?
We could clip it on just to see what happens.
Yeah.
Not actually solder it. But why don't we clean the edge connector
Okay.
and see if we can get it working with the board back in the cabinet.
Yeah. Okay, so let me, all right, I'm going to turn the game off.
Always a good idea.
I know. Well, this is exciting.
Yeah, this is great.
The edge connector looks really like brand new, you know?
No, probably not it.
This game's in really good shape, honestly.
Yeah. Got a couple scratches on the bottom. Maybe you need some brown paint.
No. Ha ha.
Couldn't resist.
I'm going to buff and wax it like a car, you know, and that's it. I'm not touching that original paint on here.
No.
Yeah. With the metal flake in there, I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. They must have been hard to make like this or something. They just stopped making them out of fiberglass. Because they do look pretty cool.
Yeah. It's got to be like, I'm sure the mold cost to make the body is probably pretty expensive, you know. Whereas to make a wood cabinet, what's your setup cost? Probably next to nothing.
Yeah, just a router bit.
Right. This they have to actually make, you know, tooling, and it's cool how it's all one piece, but it looks like it's not. It's just because
I didn't know that.
It's just how they painted it. So all I need to do is find another one of these, and this is pretty much exactly the same as Tempest. It's very close.
Can you find those?
Well, Tempest knobs you can. Yeah, I'll just order 2 Tempest knobs, and I'll just keep this one in there. I'm sure this is just some off-the-shelf, you know,
yeah, they wouldn't
Heathkit type knob or something,
yeah,
you know?
They wouldn't have had it custom made.
No. And I went on the internet just trying to find, like, you know, websites. There's like websites full of knobs, you know, like for the DIY kind of
knob aficionados.
knob world. All right, you want to try it?
Yeah, try it again.
I do want to replace the cord.
Yeah, that looks a little dodgy.
It's ready. So I just turned it on, and we're looking to see if it warms up here. It's so weird the sound started working. All right, the game's on. So I'm going to coin it up. Ready?
Yeah, well, it stayed. Yeah. Yep, we're good.
Okay. So I'm going to move the board around a little bit. Nothing's changing?
No.
You want to play a buck a game?
Yeah.
Let's do that later. You want to do it now? I want to get the TV out and clean this. Do you mind if we do that?
No, that's fine. That's good.
Okay. So let's, I guess we'll put the board back in, and then let's yank the TV. All right, we just did one little thing. We rehooked up the coin counter, and the game still works. So whatever was happening before was not the coin counter. So I'm gonna actually pull the power supply back out again and solder that wire on real quick. I guess we'll keep the coin counter going. I kind of like the coin counter too because it's like positive reinforcement. The game was coined up.
Yeah, yeah.
It makes that click. So, all right, I'm gonna pull it out real quick. Right now I have an alligator clipped on. You guys can see. And I'm gonna solder that wire on real fast. All right, so we're just resoldering the coin counter wire. Where is it? Right here. Hot, hot, hot. Okay, it's back. All right, so we're gonna bolt that back on, and then I guess pull the TV out. Okay, so we just tested the game. It works fine still with the coin counter hooked up, so who knows what happened before. Now the TV here, there's 2 screws up here, and there's a metal bracket that kind of bolts to the top of the TV in the plastic. So we're guessing that this is what's holding the TV in. It's just really tight. I think I need to get like a wrench. We're not gonna be able to get it out with a socket. I think once we just break it though, we can hand undo it.
Vintage spiders, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Darn it. Okay. There's one. And then let me go ahead and just get the other one out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this other screw out. Actually, it's coming right now. Okay, so I think the TV's free, and it's not. So there's also screws on the bottom here.
Is it actually screwed, or? Oh, wait, that's the back cover.
Yeah, no, the TV itself is still secure. It's not coming out. It's not. So I think it's screwed down here too. There's 2 nuts on the bottom. Seems a lot more secure than computer space was, doesn't it? So I don't know. And then there's also 2 nuts for that bezel. I don't know if the bezel is attached to the TV. Yeah, it doesn't want to move. I think we need to take that bezel off too. So there's 2 screws in the front, guys, if you can see in here. So there was 2 on the bottom, and then there's a screw in here, all the way in the front. Does it seem likely that it's attached to that? Yeah, it is.
You're moving it away from the bezel, so I don't think the bezel's attached.
You don't?
No.
I can see the bezel's coming with it.
Not on the top.
Huh?
Not on the top. Maybe on the. Not sure about the bottom.
Yeah, let me get a nut driver and let's get those off. Okay, I got like all the screws off and we can't get it out still. I think we need to take the back cover off, which I think is just being held on by this single screw right here. Because I think that there's there's carriage bolts at the bottom of the...
Looks like that's it.
Okay. See right here? This is the problem. These carriage bolts. How the hell are we going to get that one out? Yeah, they definitely secured this thing a lot better than Computer Space. So it's just this one right here. We can't get that out. So it's this guy right here that's holding the whole thing in. Take a hammer to it.
You can't pry it up with a screwdriver under it?
What's that?
Can you get a screwdriver under it?
Let me see if I can just pound it up. There we go. Now we could probably, it's really tight. There it comes. Boy, how did they get... All right, now the TV can come out. You ready? Let's make a space on the table here.
That's a good idea.
All right. And obviously we gotta be careful of the neck. This TV is surprisingly clean. All right, Warren, I think...
All right.
So we did need to remove the bezel.
Well, you're going to want to take it out to clean it, I think. Anyway.
Right. And it's just a little angle iron right here. That's holding it in right now.
It does look like it had some water.
Yeah, I could tell that. And by the way, here's the TV. Look at all the knobs are missing. I found one in the bottom of the cabinet too. So there's the TV. The brightness and contrast knobs are missing, and so is the volume knob. I did find this in the bottom of the cabinet, so here's one of the knobs. Do you think it's worth adjusting the brightness and contrast of it outside the game? No?
No, not really.
You think the picture was good enough?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with it was the kind of the wave to it. I don't think you can adjust that out.
All right, so let me get some Windex. This thing, you can see where the water dripped on it. We're lucky it didn't get inside the...
Yeah, the inside looks fine.
Yeah, the inside's great. I'm gonna grab some Windex. All right, Warren, I grabbed some Windex. And also, this piece of wood fell out when we removed the bezel, which is over there now. It's pretty nasty. So we're gonna clean this stuff up real nice. And then I'm gonna glue this back on, I hope. But the bezel was screwed onto this because you couldn't really screw into the fiberglass. So I don't know if this is gonna stay or what. Might have to let the glue get tacky first. It's actually, great. So what we're trying to do here is, there's a piece of wood that was right here, and it fell off, and it was glued on there originally. All right, so we got the piece of wood on there, and we're gluing it down. Now I'm gonna throw some gaffer tape on there, attempting to hold it in place while the glue dries.
Shifted a little bit.
Is it in the right spot?
I don't know. I think it might have moved a little.
Let's see. Let go. That seems pretty good to me. It's okay?
I think so. I can't see it, so.
Yeah, it's in the right spot.
Okay.
All right, so we'll let that dry, and then we'll come over here and start working on the TV. And really, just Windex. Warren, you're far too important and smart for the Windex.
Sometimes it's therapeutic to do the easy stuff.
Well, I think we got pretty lucky with this.
Yeah, I thought we were in for a lot more than that.
So did I. I thought we were going to be replacing those TTL chips and...
tubes. And
right. I mean, the TV is not right. There's something off about it. It needs to be rebuilt.
Yeah, I think it needs some capacitors, if nothing else.
I bet you this picture is going to be a lot better now.
It'll be brighter anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's got some burn-in. You can see the numbers.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's got burn-in in 2 different places.
Oh, yeah, it does. Oh, you know why, though? Is that because the score is down here and then in the attract mode? Or you think maybe the picture changed over time?
I think the picture just shrunk over time or something.
All right, I think that's pretty good.
Computer Space didn't have any burn on it at all, did it?
I don't think it did.
I don't remember seeing that. Yeah, if this has more hours on it, it might benefit from a new set of tubes.
I mean, our tubes are either bad or they work, right? Is there in between?
There is in between.
There is.
They can be weak.
Okay.
And still partly work.
That's right, because there's tube testers out there that determine that, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'll probably get a set of tubes. I mean, that's easy to do.
Might as well get them while they're easy to get.
Right.
They're not going to get easier.
Actually, someone emailed me after I did the last video saying he had a couple suitcases full of tubes. They're always in suitcases, too. You ever notice that?
You buy them in back alleys or something.
All right, so I think that's pretty good. So let's take a look at the bezel. I'm going to put this on the ground over here. Don't kick it. So the bezel...
Do we want to actually take this off?
I don't know. Do you think we should?
It'd be easier to get to this junk inside.
Yeah, I guess it's just tape, right?
Yeah, it looks like half of them are kind of falling apart anyway. It's just vintage masking tape.
Yeah.
It's a little bit.
It's very brittle.
Than that, but yeah, now you can really get at it to clean it.
Yeah, this is gross, man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
I'm out of Simple Green. We should be using that right now on that.
You don't have like an Amazon dash button for Simple Green?
No, because I go to the dollar store and I actually get the mean green. It's like the fake one.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm all out. This is what I use.
Green.
Super strength, but it's empty right now, and it's $5 for a gallon.
How long does it take you to go through through a gallon jug?
A couple months. No. All right, we're gonna keep cleaning here, and we'll come back. All right, we're actually back. We went to the store and grabbed some mean green. I also took Warren to lunch at McDonald's.
Yes, thank you very much.
I remember last time during the Computer Space, people were giving me shit saying I couldn't even feed you guys or something, like, you know. We had pizza in one episode, didn't we?
Yeah, you made up for it with the pizza. That was good.
So Warren had a quarter pounder and some apple pies and stuff. So, boy, this stuff's a lot more effective, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah, it's much better.
It really cuts through it a lot more than the that Windex. All right, so we're gonna keep going here. We're gonna clean this thing up and then put it back together. I think Adam's coming over too, and I guess we'll just hang out with him for a little bit and get an update on the pole position thing. He's got to finish that, you know?
Yeah.
Soon, maybe. All right, we're gonna keep going, clean this up. All right, we're all clean now. We used the mean green. And by the way, Adam's here.
We fixed it. What I missed.
So Adam, what do you think of this thing? Am I crazy?
It's unique.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's old.
It's very old.
But it's in great shape.
Well, it's fiberglass, right?
That thing just lasts.
I did just take the mean green and kind of went over the control panel in the front of it. I actually did some mean green over here. Mm-hmm. The sparkle stuff feels like it's popping more, but I'm gonna clean it up and then take like car wax and wax the whole thing. Mm-hmm. But I think it looks pretty cool. So what we did today was we replaced the power supply, and that pretty much fixed everything. And then it started acting flaky.
Then when you say replaced it, is it like you replaced it with another original
long
power supply? Or whatever? Oh, you had one in hand?
It's the same power supply that was in computer space.
Okay.
So I had 2 of them, extra ones.
Okay.
So it's this one.
Oh, cool.
So luckily I had 2 of these already. So we swapped out the power supply, fixed everything pretty much. The sound wasn't working though initially, and then somehow the sound started working.
Cool.
We don't know how.
Okay.
It seemed like every time we moved the board or the power supply, symptoms would come and go. Like the game was shutting down if you coined it up, and then there was no sound, and then the sound came back when we moved the board. So I don't know what's going on. We can't figure it out, but it's all working right now.
Cool.
And so we just took it apart, and now we're gonna put it back together. We just cleaned up everything. But in general, I mean, it's in great shape.
Yeah, it is.
You gotta love fiberglass. There's no restore here. It's just it's just wax.
Yeah.
And then I'll get some knobs here. They're basically the same as Tempest.
Okay.
I have one of the knobs. I'm assuming it's original. I really don't know. It's this guy right here.
Sure.
It looks pretty much like a Tempest one, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So Adam.
Yeah.
People want to know about your pole position board.
I just posted an update on Clav.
Oh yeah? What did it say?
It said that, so the boards are being, the proto boards are being fabbed right now.
Okay.
And then we'll be doing assembly as soon as they come back, probably in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll be doing bring up. So Clay is going to work on the power supply bring up because he's going to write the software that brings up the power supply. There's like 3 voltage rails for that particular FPGA, and they have to come up in a certain sequence.
Oh, I see.
So I'm going to let him play with that, and then when that's all set, he's going to send it to me, and then I'll start shoehorning the pole position into it and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, it's coming along. I think we'll actually start playing around with hardware this month, so that'll be
this month.
I think so.
You'll have a working board this month.
I don't know about working board, but I mean,
okay.
I'll have the hardware. The hardware will be done, and then I have to basically, massage the design to work into that FPGA.
I see.
Yeah.
And what ultimately, how is the audio and the power being handled? Do you use the AR2s?
Yeah, whatever's original to the cabinet. Yeah.
So there's no audio amp on this. You use the AR2.
But there can be. Right?
There can be.
Yeah, because the way we designed it was that you can kind of. So it took a long time, obviously, to get us to this point.
Yeah.
And so one thing that Clay and I realized is that we don't ever want to have to go through this again.
Yes.
Ever.
Right.
And so what we've done is we actually detached the edge connector from the main board, which allows us to take any edge connector design that we want and click it on there. So you can conceivably say, we've done pole position, let's do a multi Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
So we designed Donkey Kong, and we design a Donkey Kong edge connector, and you click onto this thing, and now you've got a Donkey Kong multi-game.
Really?
Or multi-Williams, you design it for a Williams edge connector, you click it on, and now you've got a. So what we have is just basically a development system, and then we're going to click on a pole position edge connector and put it in pole position.
I see.
So we could easily design one with or without an audio amp for those who want to run it in a game with a JAMA power supply.
Right.
For those who want the original AR2s, and they can just
And you'll be able to remove the edge connector yourself, or is it permanently on there?
Right now, I mean, we haven't figured out that kind of detail.
Yeah.
It's just a standard, like a 96 pin.
I see. It's like an adapter, more or less.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But it gives us the flexibility to now have a single piece of hardware that we can spend less time on the hardware development and now more on the FPGA and that kind of stuff. So spin the board once and then just now start working on all the different multi-games that we have planned for that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's going to be sick.
Finally come together.
All the different multi-games you have planned for that.
I had a couple, yeah. So that was the other thing too. It's like, while I've been waiting for all this to happen, it's like I don't want to sit here idle.
Right.
So I basically, Clay and I sat down and we figured out what we wanted to do from the board perspective, and I said, all right, why don't you go off and lay off the board, or out the board, and while you're doing that, I'll start looking into some other multi-games. And so I actually have 2 multi-games that are in different, series of being completed, but they're coming along pretty well.
They are.
So yeah. So I don't want to mention anything.
How about a manufacturer?
Another Nintendo.
Okay.
And
what do you mean another Nintendo?
Another Nintendo multi.
But what does that mean? Another one?
Well, I don't want to say anything. So.
Did you do a one already that I don't know about? You said another Nintendo.
Well, oh, sorry. So maybe there's 2 Nintendos out there. There's a few.
All right, so Popeye, Sky Skipper, obviously that's one.
Are you talking about the shared hardware?
What?
You're talking about what I've done or shared hardware? I haven't done Popeye Sky Skipper.
Well, shared hardware, yeah.
So what we were talking about Nintendo.
Nintendo
hardware?
vertical and Nintendo horizontal. Am I close?
Oh, you want to know? I'm not going to tell you. I think you're just asking me like what are the.
You're going to do a Nintendo horizontal board, which I would do. You should do that. Mario Brothers, Popeye, Sky Skipper.
I probably should do that.
And a Nintendo vertical board.
Right.
Donkey Kong 1, 2, 3, Junior. Right?
Yeah.
And radar scope.
I don't know if that's the same hardware, is it?
Same as Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
it's the same. Same 4-board stack.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what you're going to do.
We'll see.
You heard it, guys. And then the Versus one. You can do that.
But I think Nazarine's working on that, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know there is a Versus multi thing that plugged into a Versus board, but it's a little kludgy. You got to change the games with the dip switches or a rotary knob instead of a menu.
You want a menu.
You want a menu, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's hard. People constantly asking me what the status is. And
I know.
It's kind of convoluted and
right.
But as far as pole position goes, we're making some good headway.
I can't wait.
Especially so. Yeah, me neither, man.
And we're gonna put one in the hangar.
Sure.
We gotta.
Yeah.
Field test it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, let's put this game back together, and maybe we could play some Spaceball.
Yeah.
What do you think, Warren?
Yeah. Yeah. Play for dollars. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I want to do buck a game. What do you think? Sure. Huh? All right, we're gonna put this back together.
Downtown, midtown, I'm such a clown for you. Follow drunken declarations with impossible obligations. It's stupid, let's call it off. Bad pants I could never execute. The plan, get away, away, away. It's too late, too late, too late. I could go all night, so take it off slowly. I remember when we had nothing to lose. Now we have everything, everything, everything that we lost. So let go.
All right, it's all back together. How's it look, Adam?
Looks great, John.
Isn't it cool?
Very cool.
I need to clean it up and wax it still, but just cleaning up this white area, Warren, don't you agree that looks like 50 times better right now?
Better.
Is this basement bound today?
No.
Okay.
Soon though. I can bring this down by myself.
Really? Yeah.
It's so light.
That's true.
I want to wax it still
and
replace the power cord, I think. Mm-hmm. Just a couple little trivial things.
Sure.
It's plugged in, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, I hope it still works. Here it comes.
Yeah, it always takes a little longer than I expect.
All right.
A little bit of a wave to the monitor. Probably needs some.
Yeah. But it's Pong. Those are good graphics, guys. All right, so I'm going to coin it up. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to play a buck a game. All right? So you guys play. How do you?
Yeah, we can do that. I'll play Warren, and then you can play the
yeah.
center. All right.
Yeah. All right. All right. All right. Let me coin it up. So Adam's going to play Warren for $1. And then I'll play the winner.
Put my dollar on the top. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, exactly. Bucks on the top. See, this is where this game could be fun, though, right? It's like
have a few beers.
$5 a game. All right, here we go.
Oh my gosh, these paddles are tiny.
I know. We were wondering if that is an issue with the board or if it was meant to be that way. Oh.
How long does it go to?
Is it 10 or something?
Looked like 11, maybe.
11?
Maybe. I'm trying to get a little angle on it. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Oh, he's got some English on it.
2-1 Warren.
It's not looking good here. Oh. Deuce. Oh crap. Oh, there we go.
Oh. Oh, Adam pulls ahead.
It is touchy.
I know it is, huh? And we have no knobs, so we're like just grabbing these little shafts here.
True.
It sounds horrible.
3-3.
Oh, there you go. Oh, no. Oh, nice.
Oh.
Stick right under.
I went all the way down.
It always serves to Warren first.
Oh, it
I have
does?
an advantage there. Yeah, I think so, right? Is that true?
No, I think it goes by the loser or something.
There we go. Spin on that. Oh, I couldn't get up there.
Oh, it's a tie game, guys.
Oh, you're right.
This is getting... Oh, 5-4. This is getting tense.
No, sir, give me first. All right, let's smell. There you go. Oh, damn. Yes. This is going to be neck and neck, I can tell. It's going to be like 9-9. And... Oh, here we go. Ah!
6-5. So this is probably a pretty good deal back in the day, a quarter, right? This lasts a while.
Yeah, I think so. Oh. Damn, I couldn't get it up there high. Actually, my paddle won't even go that high.
Yeah,
Well-
I think there is a dead zone you can't get to because one went down the bottom that I couldn't get.
Right there. No.
Yeah, there's you can adjust the extremes on the board. There's 2 pots, yeah.
Ah, man, it's
So you can't go up there?
No.
All right, we're going to have to tweak that later.
Warren's taking advantage of that loophole.
You got,
Oh,
no!
9-5.
you got me
I
with it
wasn't
once
paying
on the bottom.
attention. We're already up to 9. This is ridiculous. Oh, damn. That's it.
So it goes to 11.
Oh, 11. Oh, and I'm walking away from
I
the...
wonder why they made it 11.
Yeah, I don't know. Goes to
Oh,
11.
get up there. Oh, damn. Oh,
That's it. Warren
Man,
won.
crushed
Warren,
me,
take your...
dude.
You've been eliminated, Adam.
Oh, that's it. Hit the bricks.
All right, let's go. We need to do double or nothing, though, right?
All right.
So $2?
I'll go 2.
Shoot, where's my... All right, I'm good for it.
You bought me one.
All right, here we go. Ready?
It's hard, right?
Yeah. Oh. When money's on the line, this changes this game completely.
Yeah, I agree. Suddenly it matters.
Right. I gotta get those knobs.
And the paddle kind of bends graphically, so it's kind of hard.
Oh, see, there is an absolute...
There's a total dead zone right there.
Oh, come on! All right, Warren, you're a ringer. Oh, Jesus! We definitely gotta adjust the paddles so we can go up that high. Oh yeah, I'm on the board.
I had the same thing.
That's
I'm all.
what it is. You got to get it right up there.
Oh.
Coming back.
Yeah, you got to shoot for the extremes.
There you go.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Oh! No!
Oh. That's not fair that it serves.
Oh!
It serves from the center. That's not fair.
Jeez, oh, Pete.
You really need a knob on there.
I know.
It's so hard with just the shaft.
Hey, now.
All
right. All right, Warren. This is unfair here.
Yeah.
Oh, dead zone. Warren's the big win.
We're at the Warren zone. Right here, the Warren zone.
All right, Warren.
Okay.
Warren.
That's gas money. That's how you get home. Spaceball hustler.
I like it. I'm not. I think it's.
in that atmosphere, playing for money.
Yeah, I think at a party in the basement, playing for $1 a game, that's good times.
Yeah, it is.
That really is.
Yeah.
I like this thing. I've always wanted to get a Pong, and there's something kind of cooler about this.
Sure,
you know. I love the size of it. So, all right. Well, thanks, guys.
Sure.
Do you guys want to do viewer mail, or do you want to hang out a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't we go back down in the basement and do some viewer mail? But that's going to conclude Computer Spaceball. I mean, really, I'm just going to wax it, replace that power cord. I really should look at the monitor, right?
Yeah, I think
The TV.
The cap kit probably sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I mean, it's old.
I noticed when it hits, at the bottom or the top, you see a little, boop, like a little
Yeah.
graphical
Yeah.
business going on or something.
Do you think that's a board thing that's doing that?
Yeah, that would be a board thing, I think.
Right.
There's probably some gate somewhere that's
The timing's not exactly where it needs to be.
Yeah.
And you get a little bit of.
I was reading on Ed Freeze's blog about how they kept track of the ball and stuff. It's really cool with the counters.
Oh yeah.
Because the counter would count to 1 to 64 or whatever, and then it would say draw. But they would just shift the counter. The ball's not mapped by any kind of coordinates, right?
It's not like an XY?
No, it's not.
Really?
The counter goes 1 through 64, right?
Yeah.
And then when it gets to 64, it draws it. But what they do is they shift where the counter starts.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so this counter would get to the end, draw. But then next time it would start a little bit later.
Shift the range up or whatever.
Yeah, and then it would say draw. And then when it did that, then the gun was right here.
Okay.
And then they shift the counter again, 1 to 64, draw. So that's how you made the ball move, by moving the counters beginning up and down, right?
Yep.
It's cool, right?
Yeah. That's weird.
Definitely check out Ed Freeze's blog. He really does a good job documenting these games, how they work.
Is this the guy that you were both going after the same
Yeah.
TV for? Okay.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah, Ed Freeze is kind of a legendary guy. I mean, he was the first Excel programmer for Microsoft.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
He launched the Xbox.
You did an interview with him, right?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I saw that.
And so he got the first color game PCB, Atari's Gotcha. It's the first color video game ever.
Okay.
So he got the PCB off of eBay and fixed that, and he documented that whole thing.
Wow.
And then he also discovered the first Easter egg in a video game ever. There was a programmer in Atari that did this like in the 70s, but the guy forgot like what to do to make the Easter egg work. And so Ed knew it was there, so he went and
Disassembled the
and figured out what you had to do to make the Easter egg appear.
Yeah.
And it was like you had to like push like this button, this button, then coin up. And then as soon as you coin up, you had to press another button, and then it would say hi Ron, and it would give the game 10 credits.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
And I guess the guy that did it was paranoid that he was gonna get caught, so he never told anyone the Easter egg was there until like the last few years. Because he always thought he'd get fired or sued, or because he buried that in the code.
Right.
It's cool. Definitely check out his blog. So, all right, let's go in the basement and do some viewer mail. All right, guys, there you have it. That was part number 2 of the Nutting and Associates Computer Spaceball Repair Restore series. And guys, we fixed it. It's all fixed. That was pretty easy, you know. I kind of thought going into this it was going to be another like kind of computer space epic video series. Just not the case. It was a lot easier to fix, which is not a bad thing. But I'm a little disappointed. Like I wanted to fix stuff. I was hoping that we were gonna get logic probes, oscilloscopes. None of that happened. It was just the power supply. That's weak, right? But it's easy. It's good though because I got enough stuff broken anyway. I don't need another project, so it's probably better that it happened the way it did, right?
I never complain when it's something simple.
Right. I know. I just thought for sure that there was so much wrong with that board. Like it was just like not going to be that easy. So anyway, that's all fixed. So I'll probably wax it and then bring it down here this week. Cool. I'm just going to cart it down the stairs by myself. It weighs like 50 pounds.
Videotape.
All right.
It's happened.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
So I thought we'd do some viewer mail. I'd like you guys to hang out for this. If you want to participate with the viewer mail segment, you got to email them to me at john@johnsarcade.com. John@johnsarcade.com. It can be a question, a comment, whatever. John@johnsarcade.com. First one here is from Patrick. Hey John, recently, Wreck-It Ralph 2 was confirmed to take place on the internet.
Oh.
Right, as opposed to an arcade. Okay. So it's gonna be like a bunch of memes and Facebook and
poop emoji.
There's gonna be a lot of poop emojis. You're right. So it's gonna take place on the internet, opposed to an arcade. Like the first film, personally, I have my doubts. The original film had so much potential, only to scrap it 2/3 in. Hopefully, the sequel won't have this problem, but I still would have preferred it to expand the arcade concept. What's your opinion on this? I mean, honestly. I think it has more mass appeal.
Oh, absolutely.
With if it's Facebook and Twitter, and then you have like the MySpace guy is like the old man or something.
Just all the online games, right?
Right.
Modern day, Call of Duty, all that kind of business.
Right.
A lot of these classic arcade characters.
Yeah.
Kids don't even know what they are. So.
I mean, Wreck-It Ralph was cool and all. I mean, especially for us because there was a lot of stuff that we all could relate to. But this is probably the right move. I'm guessing, right? Long term.
Yeah, it's smart for them. It makes it less interesting to us, maybe.
Yeah. All right, moving on. The Moose says, hello, John. I stumbled on your videos a while back, and now I am super into the hobby. I currently have an Outrun, a Galaga, a Multicade, and I'm restoring a Gorf machine. It works, but needs some cab work. I found this place on Craigslist in Hagerstown, Maryland. You know what place that is?
No.
I was wondering if their prices seem reasonable. Please take a peek when you get a chance. Let me know. The Facebook page is Coin Op Warehouse.
Oh.
Thanks for the great vids, and I love your hanger and newest search video for games. Rock on, Tim. So he's asking about Coin Op Warehouse. Now, Coin Op Warehouse has a Facebook page, and these guys post games on there that I think at crazy prices. But here's the thing. They sell. And the thing, this is like Lloyd at Coin Op Warehouse. I don't know him personally. He seems like a good guy, reasonable guy, but he's definitely tapped into something, right? Because he'll go pick up a tapper, right? He'll take the photo at the people's house he's picking it up at, right? And the ad will say, complete tapper, didn't plug it in, $850, right? By the time the truck gets back to his warehouse, it's sold. and it's usually some guy in Germany, right? Some guy named Wolfgang who says, I'll take it, right? And they put it in a container, and that's it. And then Wolfgang's got it. So I don't think the prices are good, but I don't blame the guy because he's getting the money. But every now and then he has some really interesting, unique stuff that you just don't see anywhere. And I've been tempted to pull a trigger on a couple of those. Have you ever looked at any of that stuff?
No.
No?
Seen them around.
Are you?
No, I'm cheap.
Yeah, I know.
I'm very cheap.
Right. So yeah, I mean, you can definitely do better, I guess, but he's selling the games at that price, so I can't blame the guy. Next one here is from Jedman. I've been watching your channel for several months, and I love the channel. I've been looking to get my first game for a while now. My goal has been to find pretty much any game for $250 or less. Is that good? That's good.
Yeah.
Good goal, right?
My kind of guy.
And then restore it back to working condition. At that price, I was expecting to find a game needing a lot of work. I've been using your Craigslist search string every day for months. Wow. And I never found anything but overpriced rebuilds and junk. That's the thing, though. You use that search string every day, and then you get a hit. Yeah. And then it's like, then you're like, oh, it was worth all that effort, sure. Right? Last week, I got an email alert from Craigslist that there was a match to the search criteria. Within a few minutes, I contacted the buyer and agreed to buy a Midway Skins golf game in mint working condition for $100. So he did good here. It's a fully original, not a conversion, has the identical cab to Mortal Kombat, and a pristine 25-inch monitor. Yeah. For $100,
wow.
That's
parts alone. Yeah.
So this is a more modern golf game, right? With trackball. I actually don't really know that game. Do you? Midway Skins.
No.
So it's a dedicated cab.
I don't know. Is it dedicated or conversion?
No, he says it's not a conversion. It's fully original. Oh, okay. A few days later, the game is now in my home. I can't believe it. $100. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, that monitor is like worth it. Double, triple that, I have two questions for you. The back of the cab has a removable panel on the lower half only to access the power supply and the PCM board, but the top half of the back isn't removable, making it nearly impossible to access the monitor. I have no idea how I'd remove the monitor if I ever needed to do any repairs. What gives?
I think it has
it's
to
screws.
Be removable, right? Yeah. I mean, you have a Mortal Kombat 2, so you can compare to what he's talking about, but there's got to be a way to remove, because how would you replace the monitor?
I think that you would pull it out from the glass in the front.
You think so?
Yeah. Or I'd look for screws, right? There might be screws on there. Right.
Yeah, it might not have a key where you can pull the panel off. You might have to literally remove screws to take the whole panel off.
Yeah. So there's probably two things. You unbolt the monitor from the front and you pull it out, right? That will definitely work.
Sure.
And then the other way is you could probably get to the board, the K7000 board, and unscrew that and drop the board out. But I've seen those cabinets where the top doesn't open.
Really?
Yeah, like on Outrun, we couldn't get to the monitor because it's all screwed it together. Okay. We had to unscrew the top to get to the monitor to discharge it.
Wow.
So there are cabinets like that. I'd look for screws personally. The PCM is the PCB, is enclosed inside a metal cage. Is that common? I don't recall seeing that in your videos. Is it only to protect the PCB board from getting banged around, or is it serving it's for RF, right?
Yeah.
It's an RF cage. So yeah, a lot of games do come in with that metal cage, like the Nintendo stuff does. Some of it, like the Versus stuff, comes with the metal cage. A lot of the Atari boards, So yeah, the metal cage is pretty common because back in the 80s, they're all paranoid that this stuff's going to interfere with emergency radios and pacemakers and stuff. so they put them in these RF cages to minimize supposedly the emission of RF radio frequency. I'm not a big fan of the golf games. I really like to get me and my kids playing lots of classics, so I might convert it to MAME. Still not sure. Keep up the great work, Jedman. So there you go. He found a cheap game. It sounds like a very useful cabinet.
Yeah.
Like a Mortal Kombat style cabinet.
The only thing I would suggest is if you do convert it to MAME, do it in a way that you can undo it if you decide to undo it sometime.
Right.
Do it tastefully, isn't that what you say?
Yeah, do it tastefully. But I'd imagine that control panel, if it's a golf game, what does it have? A trackball or?
That's got to be it. A couple buttons.
Yeah, so he's going to have to butcher the control panel.
Or I think the Midway it's just a rectangular piece of plywood.
Yeah, it is.
You can just replace it with whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true.
Joystick setup and everything.
All right, this one's from Shane. I'll read one more. Hey, John, The Simpsons restore is going well.
You're doing a Simpsons?
No, his is.
Oh, okay.
I've picked up a main event board to swap in and have upon installing it, I have noticed that the speaker for the Simpsons does not plug in. It's a stereo connection, and even though main event has a volume pot, it relies on the JAMA for the audio. Can I tap the 4-pin speaker connection into the JAMA harness somehow? Maybe only while I have a JAMA audio-driven games online, like an adapter I can take on and off. Thanks. So the Konami pinout is a little different than JAMA, right? It's mostly with the controls, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is
because of
he
the
saying
extra button.
it's a JAMA pinout, but the audio's not working?
No, he's got a Simpsons cabinet.
Oh, that doesn't have a JAMA pinout. Is that what you're saying?
It's Konami pinout,
Okay.
which is like JAMA, but not.
Okay.
Right? So he wants to plug in a main event board, but he's got no audio. Oh, because does the audio plug into the board on the Simpsons? Is it because it's stereo sound or something?
Yeah, if it can't be stereo over JAMA. There has to be something different about it. So either the sound is wired in separately, or sometimes they put the on the two speaker connections on the JAMA harness. Sometimes they make one left and one right.
Yeah.
And then you tie a speaker to one of those into ground.
Okay.
As opposed to standard JAMA where you just plug the speaker across those two wires.
Right.
I don't know in this specific case.
So he wants to know, can I tap the 4-pin speaker connection into the JAMA harness somehow? So he's got a 4-pin speaker connector for 2 speakers, right?
Yeah.
2 positives and 2 negatives, right?
Probably the best you could do is figure out which 2 of those go to one of the speakers and hook that into the JAMA harness.
Right, he could just take some wires and solder it to the edge connector, right, and run those wires to his connector.
Yeah, what was interesting though is he said the JAMA harness, so the game already has a JAMA harness even though it's a Konami game?
Well, I think the Konami harness is a modified JAMA, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when I got the Turtles cabinet, it had high impact football in it, okay? I pulled that board out and plugged in the Turtles one, and all the buttons were not mapped right. It was all wrong. So I'm guessing that's what... I think it's the controls that are different. But the sound and the power and all that should be the same.
If that's the case, then it sounds like the sound pins are probably not even used on his JAMA.
Right.
His JAMA, but his
Yeah.
edge connector.
All right, so Shane, I don't think we know. That's what I'm guessing here.
I have to do a little research.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, though, if he figured out on the edge connector on his board where the audio was, he could solder 2 wires there, positive and negative, and run those 2 wires to his connector and get sound out of at least one speaker, right?
Yeah, I guess
It's a little sloppy, but it would work.
what I'm thinking is on the connector itself, not
Yeah.
the PCB, the connector itself.
Yeah.
If it's very JAMA-like,
Yeah.
but the audio pins are not being used, then you could solder them to there, right? And plug it into any JAMA boards that it would work.
Right. I see what you're saying. So yeah, I don't know. Figure it out, Shane.
Sorry.
We don't really know what you're talking about. We'd have to see it. so all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you for coming by today, Warren. Thanks, Adam, for hanging out a little bit.
For taking my money.
Warren was the big winner today. So guys, that's it for this episode. We're done. By the way, again, BroFest is happening. It's the first weekend in June. Go to arcadeevent.com. If you go there and the information is not updated yet, check back in the next day. I'll have the registration up this week. So, all right, that's it. I'll see you very soon. Subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends. Check out my podcast, Video Game Outsiders, at videogameoutsiders.com. We have an app on the iOS store and the Google Play Store. Download it. It's free. All right, we're done. See you very soon. Later, and bye.